So go on and play in the grass. Count the clouds to make it last.
Okay, sideways. We're going back to the story.
Right.
There's just so much to this film. I love this movie, and it actually starts with a really good quote that Oogway says, that where one often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that kind of self-fulfilling prophecy that backfires on what your actions do, and it really does tie into the overall theme of the film, which is kind of belief. All the actions that occur only happen because the person believes that they're going to happen. So basically what it is that Oogway tells Master Shifu that Tai Lung's going to escape, and that they need the Dragon Warrior to defeat him, right? Well, Master Shifu believes that, so much so that he sends a messenger played by
Dan Fogler,
yeah,
who you may recognize as, I can't remember his name now, which is very embarrassing, the Muggle in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the new Harry Potter franchise, or Harry Potter adjacent franchise. That's Dan Fogel. That's the messenger that gets sent to the prison.
So he gets sent to the prison.
Mm-hmm.
His very act of being there allows Tai Lung to escape. All right, so literally, if Sifu didn't believe that this could happen and just went about his day, this whole movie would have never really taken place.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that happen all the time with people trying to prevent something and inherently just causing that same thing they're trying to prevent.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost a very easy writing thing, in my opinion.
What?
Yeah. But it made for a really good story. That's how the whole thing kicks off,
Mm-hmm.
is all about belief. And like I said, belief is kind of the main theme in this movie. And I think it's phenomenal that they teach that to kids, right? The big thing in belief is that Po has to believe that he can be the Dragon Warrior, that he has to believe in himself, believe that he can learn Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
And everything about this whole thing it comes down to him believing in himself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if he doesn't do that, he's not going to win. That's really much like in sports. Sports like 90% mental, right? If you think you're going to fail, if you think you're going to lose, you're probably going to lose, right? So you have to keep in your mind that I'm going to do my absolute best, and winning is a result.
Mm-hmm.
There is no losing in sport. There's like winning and learning, right? And you have to keep that mindset about it. Otherwise, it's not going to work out too well for
Mm-hmm.
you. So you have him having to believe in himself, and then you have Master Shifu believing that he can teach Po.
He also has to. Shifu has to believe in himself as well. The two characters very much take the same path down this way. One is empowered, one is not, but they're still going in the same direction, and it's a wonderful parallel that you have. And even Master Shifu realizes this at the end, which is phenomenal. Belief.
Yeah, he had to believe that Po can be the Dragon Warrior and that he can get him there.
Mm-hmm.
And part of doing that was that realization is that one of the quotes they said, it was the duck who said it, Poe's dad, was that the secret...
Hang on. Let's
Okay.
take a step back. So, Po is raised by his adopted father.
Oh yeah, I need to put this in context.
Yeah. Po is raised by his adopted dad, who is a duck who runs a noodle shop. And one day he hopes to teach Po the secret ingredient for his secret ingredient soup. Po aspires to be other things, as Po aspires to be a great hero, and that's how he ends up to be in the right place, to be determined to be the Dragon Warrior. Now, again, speaking of dual stories at play here, Po is going to learn the same lesson twice. Once from a great magical artifact that Master Shifu and Oogway have. And he's going to learn the same lesson from his dad. And it's really, really lovely. And that lesson...
I don't think it really solidifies in his brain until his dad says it. And that's the thing that rings true.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that the secret to his secret ingredient soup is that there is no secret.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that to simply make something special is just to believe that it is special,
mm-hmm.
right? And simply calling it that. And I have that same mentality with a lot of things that I do and how I teach people. Like for me, getting, say, a rank in a school isn't so much about what you can do physically, it's what you do up here, right? And the easiest way to get a rank is to believe and think and operate like you already have it.
Right.
And that plays out in a lot of things in life, man. Even sneaking into places, like if you just believe that you're supposed to be there, nobody's going to say anything.
Well, and the idea of assigning value to things being the manner in which you empower them is also important. Like, if you want a black belt in a martial art, buy a black belt, sew the name of the martial art on the black belt, there you go. But that's not what makes it a black belt. But I mean, you can buy a black belt for what, $4? Something like that?
Depends on who you get it
But
to.
it's
But I've made the joke several times that I'm a black belt and CMA under Quentin Brazil. And really, CMA is Century Martial Arts. Quentin Brazil is the guy I talk to when I order stuff. And he's okay with me saying that reference too. I asked him about it. I was like, hey man, because I've been talking to him for like 2 or 3 years, to the point where I asked for him. I was like, hey, is Clinton there? Okay, cool. Let me get my order in and see like, how's it doing, man? Clinton's awesome, by the way. And Central Martial Arts, pretty cool stuff. They're not paying us, they're not sponsoring us, but I'm just giving them a nice shout out as far as you want equipment. Even better, come to Tactical Kung Fu. We can get it wholesale, so it'll be cheaper.
So,
anyways.
Yeah,
back to black belts.
But it is really fun to see to see Po learning these lessons, these great kung fu masters teaching him a lesson, but also his dad at this noodle shop actually teaching him the exact same lesson. That struck me as important. Watching this movie, it did kind of bother me a little bit. They had this glorification of this great grand hero's journey, which is good stuff. I'm not knocking that. But I also enjoy seeing the glorification of the mundane, of the routine. And it's very easy to miss that. That dad, little noodle shop owner who's all excited about the different ways you cut vegetables for soup, had the same wisdom, the same knowledge as Master Oogway. And it's a shame they didn't meet, because I think Master Oogway would have loved his dad.
Oh yeah, or at least loved the food.
Oh, certainly.
What's interesting is the actual term. So we're kind of getting into the terminology, which, by the way, we probably should have said this before we got 20 minutes or so into this, but we're spoiling this 10-year-old movie.
Good point.
Yeah, I totally forgot to mention that. I mean, if you haven't seen Kung Fu Panda yet, after a decade, watch this film. It's amazing.
It's
and
really good.
Really not spoiling it, because like you can know every single thing, and you really probably after the end of this podcast, you will know every single part of that movie.
It won't make a
You'll
difference.
still want to watch it.
There were no surprises for me, having seen this many Kung Fu movies and kids shows and everything else. I saw everything that was going to happen. I knew what was going to be, what the secret was, and the dragon scroll. The minute it had no effect. It's still a gorgeous movie. It's still really fun. It's still very well made, very well acted. All of it.
Skadoosh.
Wear your favorite dress, darling. Watch the sun on your shoulders. Wear your hair